In this module, we began learning about how to work with calculations. We learned how to use the Calculation Designer in Form View, where we could add simple expressions using calculation tools like the Metadata pane to drag and drop members that we wanted to reference in our calculations, and also the Functions pane, where we could locate functions for our expressions and also get help in the form of a tooltip to see the syntax of a function, as well as information about the type of object that a function would return. And we saw how to use templates in Script View for common types of calculations. As we worked with the Calculation Designer and the calculation tools, we built several different types of calculations. We built one type of calculation that did simple mathematics, just adding one measure to another. We also created a growth calculation, which required us to learn about tuples. Tuples are just coordinates that point to locations within the cube. So we can retrieve the value for a previous point in time by creating a tuple that includes both a measure as well as a reference to a member of our date hierarchy, but using the prevMember function to go back one member, whether that's going back 1 year, or 1 quarter, or 1 month, or 1 day. We also learned about working with ratios, which is just simply creating an expression that has a numerator and a denominator. Collectively, this set of calculations represents common types of calculations that we find in cubes. But there are many other types of calculations that can get much more complex once we have a better understanding of what's possible with MDX. We also learned how to work with color and font expressions. We use the immediate if function as one type of conditional expression that we can use, where the first argument is a logical expression that evaluates as true or false, and then the second argument is a value that gets returned when the condition is true, and the third argument is the value returned when the condition is false. And we learned that we could have codes for colors and fonts returned for our true or false arguments. And we used a dialog box to help us select the values that were inserted as codes into our expressions. For learning more about these topics, you can take a look at these links.